We must put an end to racism. Let it end with this generation. Together we'll develop this nation. Make Guyana gem of the Caribbean. Don't listen to them wicked politicians who would divide us to win an election. Believe it or not, Guyanese no smarter than that. Our ancestors were slaves and laborers, but the life they endured made it better for us. We honor their sacrifice and the freedom they bought for we. But some descendants of slaves use that to fuel their rage. It doesn't matter what your skin color, when we bleed blood it's red the same. Let's respect and love one another. When our brothers cry, we must feel the pain. We Portuguese, Africans, and Indian. We Chinese mix up, we're Amerindian. We're all Guyanese. Let's end this segregation. I'm appealing to Guyanese in the diaspora. We welcome you home. We've got a lot to offer. It's not the same place that you run away from. Come see the paradise Guyana has now become. Investors are here and they're building. Infrastructures are all you see. Creating plenty job opportunities. Pumping money in the economy. Guyana on the rise to prosperity. Education, healthcare for everybody. President Ali, building one Guyana for we.
Yes, Facebook, good night. Good night. It's a pleasure to be here again. I would have missed 2 episodes of Point Blank. Point Blank on Sundays and Point Blank last Wednesday. Circumstances beyond my control. But tonight, I just want to say that I'm back here, as you can see. And I'm here tonight for Calling Wednesdays on Point Blank. The number is 679-7846. I would like to just say a special good night to the people here in Linden and Region 10. Ichuni, Kupwani, Araima, all the way up the Borvis River to the Veldt. I'd like to say a special good night to those people in Region 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. A special good night from Calling Wednesdays on Point Blank. A special good night to the people in the Caribbean. And good night also to the folks of the wider diaspora. Brothers and sisters, tonight on Point Blank, Calling Wednesdays, I trust that I get some phone calls tonight. I don't really get a lot of calls, so I do a lot of talking, but I trust that the phones will be ringing off the hook tonight somehow. Some stroke, some miracle. I beg him for that one day, because I would like to deal with your questions, your concerns, your point of view. We have a lot going on in the country at the moment, in the fact that our teachers, public school teachers, are on strike owing to the call by the GTU. Somewhat the government of Guyana is saying that the strike is illegal. I have my own belief about teachers and payments, numeration. But when you look at the statistics that the government continuously put up and where teachers were and where they are today, then it begs a lot of question and more question than answers. And today, when you ask these teachers on an individual basis, what is their cause? And a lot of them just saying, I am following my colleague. They really and truly do not have a real concern. And when you have people like Coretta McDonald, who is GTU president, a shady woman in her own right, and Mark Light, former president of the GTU, I heard him today saying that I'm telling you, one of these men are jackasses, you know. Mark Light is telling people, don't study your mortgage, God gonna take care of it. Wow. And get three square brick and some firewood and cook outside for what the cars, you don't gotta buy gas. I mean, these banners are. I tell you something, people. Sometimes, right? I just want to cuss up sometime because these people are idiots, jackasses in their own right and belief. But because, right, when you get a certain level of upbringing, they just get off by the skin of the teeth. But one time you just got really lose it with them. Because look at these guys. Look at Mark Light's background, where he's making that comment from. I'm sure that is his home. Well polished. A well polished home. You know? There are all sorts of allegations about $2 billion missing from the GTU coffers. Mark Light was once the president, and he's still a member of the executive body of the GTU. And these allegations are serious allegations of corruption. And you can't hear them debunking anything come out in their defense of this $2 billion. Teachers are on social media making claims that the GTU has done nothing for them. One young teacher said when she lost her son, there was no assistance from the GTU. People in bereavement, teachers in bereavement, who expect some level of compensation owing to the fact that they are paying their dues religiously. Money taken out before it even reached to them. And you can hear them say that the GTU has done nothing for us, nothing for me, nothing. And before they defend their position, they're telling people to cook on fireside and let God gonna take care of your mortgage, and you know it's beyond ridiculous how these people are really and truly operating. Let me see if I can find this clip with this boy. What was his name? Mark Light. Let me see.
When we can't pay our mortgage, that's not a problem. The banks will take all of our homes. And then it becomes a bigger problem for the country to find housing. When we can't pay our mortgage, that's not a problem. The banks will take all of our homes. And then it becomes a bigger problem for the country to find housing for us. When the bank takes our homes, it becomes a bigger problem for the government because they got to find shelter. That is their responsibility. When we can't pay our mortgage, that's not a problem. The banks will take all of our homes. And then it becomes a bigger problem for the country to find housing for us. When the bank takes our homes, it becomes a bigger problem for the government because they got to find shelter. That is their responsibility, to find shelter for the nation. When the bank takes our cars, they will have to find public transportation to take us freely to where we have to go. Teachers, I want you to also thank you, Madam Forest Vice. Do not be, you can't be on strike and submitting SBA scores and marking SBAs. You can't be on strike and going to MASH. You can't be on strike and sending notes to children. If you are on strike, you're on strike. Let's get it very clearly. And I call on all teachers who are planning to go to school today. Come out and join your colleagues. Come out and join your colleagues. Don't worry about your gas. Get 2 or 3 bricks. Get some firewood. And I know you have plenty old pap that you know only put on your gas. So cook outside. Learn to economize for a good cause. If you're not using your light, don't put it on so your bill won't go up high. If you don't need AC, open your windows. Take fresh air. This is a just cause for which you have to make the sacrifice. And for those of you who are worried about your mortgage, don't worry. God will take care of you. Don't worry. We have a lot of people, apart from the resources we have, are pledging their support.
My brothers, my brothers and sisters, Guyanese, we just heard the indomitable Mark Light giving advice to his colleagues that they must not mark the SBAs of the children. Now, people, parents, children, the parents of children would have already spent money for these children to write their exam. Write the CXC exam. The SBA is a major component of the CXCs. And some teachers are compassionate enough, even though they are on strike, to mark the CXC papers. It wouldn't take anything out of them. The strike is already ongoing. The strike, the general population of the school is feeling the effects of the strike. Some teachers, some goodly, compassionate teachers, decided that we cannot allow the strike to affect our performers. So the least we can do is mark their SBAs for submission. The jackass of a man named Mark Light, I don't know, real jackass, to tell the teachers, don't mark the SBAs. You're on strike. You know, he went on further to advise them, let the banks take away your car. Let the banks take away your cars. God will intervene. Don't pay your mortgage. Let the bank seize our houses. And when the bank seizes the house, it have a bigger problem for the country. Okay, I'm getting my first call. Good night, caller.
Man got fan and light running.
Yes.
Mark like that fan and light running.
That is
the man got a 3-tier ceiling.
That is the level of hypocrisy with these fellas.
But God will provide.
Yes.
What happened to the money the teachers paying every month? Why they can't get something back from that? Why he can't buy 100 or 200-300 penicillin and cook something for them, let it carry over? To the money there, doesn't Mark like that tell people, look, you see these people?
Caller,
never again they can see the face of power in this country.
caller, it's a great observation that the teachers are out there, and when the union is supposed to take up the slack and at least pay them their salaries so they can get their mortgages and their car note paid. He is telling them, allow the banks to take away your assets.
But you imagine that man like selling car, the grocery store, man like the double lap port across the road. How this man could go on and tell these teachers what happened to the corporate sponsors? They talk of a big game. Yeah, got to pay, got to pay. Now you where the corporate sponsors? These teachers arguing for more money, and at the end of the day, they're going home with less because they're not at school. How does that make sense?
Great point, caller. You know, when you talk about the corporate sponsors, I must be fair to the corporate sector in this country. Not a single corporate um, member would have come out and said that they will support the teachers. Not a single one of them. So when you heard Coretta McDonald on the first day saying, cut our pay and the corporate sponsors will take care of us, you know, it's all a lie, it's all a bluff. And it is indicative of what we get from the people of the PNC. You know, when the strike started, they say it's not political. But if you look at the players that are visiting the strike each and every single day, every single one of them deeply political and have an interest.
Is that person called Gary Best saying he come in to protect the teachers' rights? They should bust up his head because Gary Best killed somebody for him to be cycling in this country. Kill him dead. Free.
Even though the report says that he was intoxicated beyond the level. Beyond the level.
That's money to hire authorities that could swing the system. And here we listen, I could never forget that same authority that Gary Best hired. That man create havoc in this country and disappear during the last during the no confidence motion with 43 and that's nonsense. Look, Mr. Blair, you tried there with them. You tried there with them. They have nothing to offer people, and for Mark Light to do a video after collecting all that money, submitting no financial statement, and make no overture to teachers to say, well, oh, we're going to give you a half for, oh, we're going to give you a $15,000 gift certificate to go in the supermarket and buy some food. Nothing, nothing. I hope you teachers get that. I take care, but I just wanted to share a little bit of proof.
Thanks for calling. Yes, you see, that was a very passionate caller about Mark Light's behavior. I didn't even know Mark Light was the owner of a supermarket and a car dealership and all of that. But you know, that's the kind of thing. That's the kind of thing. You know, probably some of the teachers who still have car notes to pay, probably they took their car from Mark Light and he don't mind them losing their car so that he can sell the car again. That is the level of nastiness coming out of these guys. I am certain that some of those vehicles that he is encouraging them not to pay on come from his arson. I'm certain. But these guys, what else can we expect? What else can we expect? They stood for 5 months after the 2020 regional and general election, trying to rig it in the face of international community. And all right-thinking Guyanese present themselves as the winners of the election, can't show their statements of poll. What else do you expect from these guys? These guys has no integrity. Not a single one of them. None of them have any integrity. You know, but they're trying desperately since 2020 to have this country mash up and stir up. But you know, the prudent work of the government has managed to evade every single attempt of disruption. It is the work that the government is doing. When you look at how the president and vice presidents present and what they're doing for this country, it puts the opposition in a place of no man's land. So yes, I am one who believes in my heart that the teachers and all public servants need more money. But is it the way to go? To take setup from the political actors such as Coretta McDonald, Mark Light, and the others, Gary Best and Deron Adams and Jorman Figuera. Well, don't talk about Vanessa Kissoon. You know, always a nigger yard teacher. I wonder how is it people like Vanessa Kissoon is still in the teaching system after demonstrating to this world that she's a nigger yard. How manage? They get another one. Oh gosh, I don't know how to describe she salary so low, teacher give him blow. I said, watch this jackass. Watch this jackass. I wonder if she get husband. I don't think she could have get husband and that to go in there like that. Salary is low and teachers give him blow. You know, we need a code of conduct in this country for teachers. And when we find them operating outside the code of conduct, forthwith dismissal. Dismissal forthwith. We need a code of conduct. We need something legislated in parliament to ensure that these teachers can't strike. We need a serious legislation passed, just like how police and soldiers don't have that right, and perhaps the doctors in this country don't have that right. I believe teachers should be one that must not strike, cannot strike during school time. If they want to make a demonstration or a protest or what, it must happen after school hours and during the holidays. Holidays and school, go and stand up if all is so concerned, come out in all the thousands during holidays and outside of school hours and make your demonstration. Show me that you care for the children and not for yourself. Show me. Come out there and protest. And I will be the first to join you on the picket line. But you see, once your actions are going to interfere with our children's education, I get a serious problem. I have a serious problem with it. I meet a teacher, I think it is yesterday in a Chinese supermarket, in a Chinese restaurant. And I confronted her. I said, Miss, you're on strike. And she boldly said yes. And I asked her what she really striking for. And then she went into this explanation. You know, she just sung. I don't know how some of them are teachers. She sung dumb as hell. When I tell you dumb, real dumb. But I don't know how some of them make it to be teachers. Perhaps a lot of them can just stay on the picket line and continue to strike because they're not ready yet. They are not ready. They are simply not ready for the classroom when you interact with some of them. You know? So I asked her, what is the level of her education? And she went to teachers training college and she graduated 7 years ago. I asked her if she would have applied for a gold scholarship. And then she gave me some wishy-washy story why she didn't get through and this and all of that. Anyhow. So I asked her if she's at UG. No, she's not UG because it's not every teacher can go to UG. You gotta get released. I said that used to be a thing of the past. Ever since Prem Manichan came back into office, Prem Manichan, the Minister of Education of Guyana, make it possible that whatever teacher want to advance their education, they can go and study. So she coming up with some kind of stupid story, believing that I'm not a person who's informed of the situation. And I watch it, and I watch this idiot, you know, looking to dance around and thing and go on vulgar for money. And they're not improving their education. They are stuck. They are stuck. A lot of these teachers that are there for years and years and years that just have a trained teacher certificate, a lot of their students has masters because people feel the need for higher wages and they would have advanced themselves. They're teaching the people. The people are acquiring masters. Left them in the cellar. And why now the people are earning hundreds of thousands of dollars because they are so rightfully qualified? They are stuck with a trained teacher certificate. A lot of them, when people come up under them and supersede them because people went on to the university and did well and get promotion ahead of them, some of them vexed, but they're lazy. They have no intentions of qualifying themselves, no intentions whatsoever of qualifying themselves, but they're calling for more money. And guess what? Guess what? They find the avenue through protest, an illegal protest by the political actors of the APNU. And they tell themselves now, well, if we could protest and get it, we ain't gonna educate ourselves and advance our qualification to make it. That is it. It's a bunch of laziness. They may want to stay in the classroom. They rather just winding up on the road. Salaries are low. Teachers giving blow. Yes. Yes. I want them husbands see what is the reason make. What is the reason make? They're lazy. It's a sick and dirty mentality. And you know, the other day they had a little issue with T. Mohammed and you know the little circular that went wrong, prohibiting any person from going into the public schools to make donations. Some of them sought to capitalize on it. Having a chance, same thing, but Mohammed get we back. Mohammed get your back. Mohammed should get your back indeed. Mohammed get your back. Look, sometimes it gets so vexed, you know, because listen, the state, the level of vulgarity that came out over the last few days with these teachers. I am appalled. I'm appalled. And they have nobody reputable enough to say to them, listen, we're not here for this. This level of conduct is not what we want. We're supposed to be the dignified people of this land. We have a duty and a responsibility to this nation's children. How can we be on social media making ourselves like this? Nobody in their ranks have the sense enough to say to them that we are heading down a wrong path. And with all the pastors and all of them that giving them support, I hear nobody condemn them for their behavior. I mean, protest action, this protest action, you don't gotta get vulgar, you don't gotta operate as though you come out of some kind of ghetto, and even the ghetto people don't behave like that. Trust me. Trust me. So it's like if we're watching some intellects of ghetto mentality. I mean, that's simply it. Simply it. The president the other day said, listen, I recognize that all Guyanese needs to be at a different level. But this thing can't happen overnight and all at the same time. And I ask for patience. Well, I mean, I call for patience before the president, but you know if he hear me, if he hear me, but I the first one call for the patience. Whether or not he hear me, it means that the president is listening. It simply means that our president is listening. He ain't too big, he ain't arty, and if a Kenny Blair sits here and call for patience, and the president do the so. So what? It's the right thing to do. Call for patience. Because in our hearts, we believe that the country can do better. And the country will do better. It's just a matter of time. We grew up hearing our grandparents and great-grandparents say Rome wasn't built in a day. Rome wasn't built in a day. And you can tell me that these people who managed to influence so many teachers, I would hate to believe, right? Hate to believe that our teachers are so gullible. And if that is really and truly the situation, we are in a sad place. We are in a very sad place. We are in that place where Mark Light can tell them, ignore your bank mortgages and God will take care. Don't pay for your car, that the government has to provide free public transportation. Yes, it is on record. Don't study your gas. Get 3 bricks and some firewood. And cook outside in a whole pot that you don't use for your stove. Oh my. Woo! And these people present themselves as our leaders. Can you imagine? Can you really imagine these people presenting themselves as an alternative to the PPP? Can you imagine? But I am not surprised. I am not surprised by any means. I can remember when David Arthur Granger became the president of Guyana, and it takes 16 weeks before he visited Linden for the first time. He went to a tree planting exercise over the river bank, just opposite the Bowside loading bay. And you know, the president, then the former president then, he was telling the people that, you know, you guys can plant breadfruit and then it will grow up in 5 to 6 years and you will have breadfruit to send to St. Lucia as an export. The man was building a breadfruit economy in an oil-rich nation. A breadfruit economy in an oil-rich nation. That is what Granger offered the people of Linden. Today, they never challenged Granger and his breadfruit idea. They never challenged Granger about the building of a breadfruit economy. Today, this government has been doing so much for teachers' houses. Teachers have special arrangement when it comes to their house lot. Teachers have special arrangement when it comes to houses that the government is building in Guyana. What I say to the government, I will say to the government, with the attitude of these teachers that we have, we should revisit, because they are ordinary public servants who are working diligently, who have more than qualified for a home from this government. And I urge that we look at those people, because it's not only the teachers are important to our development, important to the society. I will never disrespect the teachers, because I believe in my heart that the teachers are worth it. They need to just go a bit further, get themselves qualified, so when they call for money, it must make sense. It must be justified. Must be justified. It must make sense. An engineer guy gets a degree, everybody, and the teachers get nothing. You think you could be a teacher in America and them developed countries and you don't have a degree? Even if it's a bachelor, you got to get. And trust me, there are teachers out there with 3 degrees master's degrees also. They're teachers with their PhD and some with doctorate. And you know why they do it? Because they want to increase their numerations. And that is why. But a lot of them, they have ultimatums too. Because after certain years in the system, if you don't improve your qualification, then you will just find yourself out, frozen. No benefits. Your benefit goes to a certain level and stop. And if you want to maximize your benefit, bring up your qualification and apply. And that is what we need in Guyana. We need a whole restructuring of the education system. The whole thing needs restructuring, revamp, a complete revamp. And here is where I call on the Minister of Education to get serious with these people. These teachers who are in the profession for 10, 15 years and don't have a degree, write them a letter. Let them go. Legislation. That's what we have to do. If they can't educate themselves, then we will legislate. So you either do it by force, or for the love of the work and the joy, or the love of the money. You either sit down 12, 15, 17, 20 years, train teacher certificate, and you want more pay, more pay, more pay. It got to force you to strike. Look at these people who are striking out there. Look at them. Check their qualifications. And then you will see why they need, and some of them can't raise themselves above the vulgarity. It's typical of the APNU. And they get them out there in the numbers. Real numbers. And that's all they give. Vulgarity. And then we want to know why our children operate the way they operate in schools. The children don't gotta look far, It's gotta look straight ahead of the blackboard and just cast your eyes slightly to the left or the right, depending on whether the teacher is a right-hander or left-hander. And trust me, some of these teachers just say some of the most vilest things to some of these children in school. And the children have no place to turn. They just have to absorb the kind of abuse. And then thing, I could tell you, Anyhow, I see a new thing now. Oh, I see a new thing with my friend, my Suchan. Suchan, like the pelt a lash at you there, boy. Anybody know Suchan? Deputy REO Region 10, Suchan. I see a sort of something going around for this jackass in America. Theodore Adams, all these banners so useless. Useless. I know Suchan on a personal level. Some girl got to Suchan's face and asking Suchan for some work, and Suchan said, "Take off your bra and let's see your breasts." People follow know Suchan. The coward named Suchan, I bet beaten that Suchan would never do something like that. Naive, too timid. He would make 1,000,000 guest stops before it even conceived in his head for ask some girl for show she Bobby. Sometimes one over wrong with these people at all. And if Suchan didn't watch himself, it might be an internal setup. It ain't gonna come from the opposition, It might be an internal setup, and then the opposition pick it up and run with it. Yeah, we get it. Because you know what? They had a big story out there the other day with Nigel Dharamlal, and this has got to be the modus operandi of them PPP buys for look for sexual favors for work. They get some of them. They get some of them in the system who doing just that. And them in case, But the real culprits don't get caught. They're so skilled at their behavior. They're so nasty with their doings. And they have the means to do it in a different way. But Suchan, watch. When I hear Theodore Adams and Daggy with Suchan thing there, I say you jump on a real weakling there, boy. Weakling. Poor Suchan must be there in the corner, hollering, knowing that he only get must be another 3 or so years to retire. And here it is. They're going to drag me in a scandal. Make a lose all the benefit because I is the one coolie man around them. Whoa, be unto you. Whoa. They don't come for a Canny Blair, you know. But Dola said so. A few years ago, they gave me a tackle by the time I just come back from Barbados and a vocal for the PPP. A guy now bad. They say they send a setup for me, but thank God. Ever since, I've been very, very meticulous. Meticulous. You got no way doing what? Me? Set up? What? Anyhow, when they out for you. So I could be talking now and I could be planning a scheme, but I gotta come real good. Don't send girls. Don't send girls. I don't get me little girl and a comfortable. I get me young wife and a good. I want no girl. So no girl can catch me now. Can't get catch. I try with them kind of thing with Suchan. Suchan. Suchan must be frightened for open his mouth for say Bobby. Suchan must be can't say the word breath. He would tremble. That's a kind of personality. I doubt it. I doubt it in every single way. And I believe that that incident should be investigated thoroughly. Thoroughly. And you see if the girl don't come with some kind of voice recording or video evidence of that kind of thing. I mean, that's I put it down to a point blank lie. Point blank lie. Caller, good night. Good night, caller. You're on point blank calling Wednesdays. Yes, good night.
Show here, and everything that you said there, I could see the passion coming. But listen, I just wanted to share, a few things from my point of view of what's happening right now. With this whole fiasco with the GTU, with what Mark Light has, I really don't understand what's going on with our pastors in this country. I understand he's a pastor, starting with Mr. Mingo, and now we have this other, jackass coming out here, declaring, taking back people, that is moving forward. And here we have someone in a position trying to take back or educate, teachers back to the caveman mentality with his tree bricks and firewood and old pots. Where are we heading? Is this what the education system and the GTU has come up with? Is this the alternative to what a peaceful demonstration for your rights? I was very flattered last night and very educated by what Mr. Mahabir and he described the difference between a right and freedom. And we all, understand. And as President Ali says, have patience. Things are going to come your way. Look at what the president, this current government has given to the teachers. I think this is ungratefulness. And, I feel very, very ashamed of what's happening with the teachers today. Those are the people like, if that is what, in fact, today in my office, I was watching, trying to pick up on some of the happenings in Diana. And, someone walked into my office and we were sitting there and I was looking at, the demonstration out into the streets. And, my colleague asked me, I didn't know you're from Trinidad. So I says, why? He says, is that, are you watching Carnival with this gyration and the craziness that teachers? Is this how someone, demonstrate and protest? And especially, profession as teachers, I strongly believe, I was in the teaching profession, and I strongly believe that,
You can be a teacher, but are you an educator? That is the difference. Teaching is a profession. Being an educator is, it's a totally different level.
It's an
So I'm
art.
very, very appalled and, embarrassed by the scene I'm seeing. And as Vice President Bharat Jagdeo said in his last press conference, and I encourage everyone to look at his press conference tomorrow, if we want to stay abreast of where this country is going. He put it clearly, as per the statistics, 4,000 teachers out of 14,000 are absent every day out of school. I think those 4,000 are the ones on the street.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't have a future, and this is the way they're gonna make their mark. So, I think we need to move on, and those teachers who are in school taking care as educators in the interest of our students, I applaud them, and I think the Ministry of Education should give them some sort of bonus for stepping up and taking care of our nation's children. For the GQ to act in such a criminal way, to disregard and deprive our students, especially heading up into, examination. This is the career we are putting at risk here. This is heartless of what they're doing. And some legislation need to be passed in the country, like in so many other countries, where making educators, teachers becoming essential workers.
Yes.
That you cannot go out on strike, go on your own time and strike into your demonstration.
Yes.
But you cannot, that's criminality.
Yes.
And I do understand that, the judicial system of the country is really failing us. All the organizations and the commissions that we have, integrity, ethnic relations, they are just like, a paper stamp, I would say. This is appalling. I'm very passionate about to see where some of our students, a fraction of it, are excelling. And that's not, a demonstration of the education system in Guyana. Many are failing because of what we see in the streets today and the demonstration of what. How can you expect outcome from these, low? I'm sorry to say this, with this level of, the teachers in the street, what do you expect their outcome to be? We're gonna have more, sorry to say, dunce thugs in our street. You know, Kids lost into the system because of their negligence, of those so-called teachers. I'm sad, it's sad to say that. You know, I feel so strongly about this. Okay, you have who doesn't want more in the paycheck, but have patience. Remember where you came from. And this brings me back that today is such a significant day. Today reminds me of 2015 when a dagger was placed in the heart of Guyana. I want our teachers to remember that. The Valentine Cummings-Berger Accord. What have they gotten? They could not even have a meeting with David Granger and his colleagues. Today marks that day which took Guyana back decades. And where we have come from that, it's, where we are today and where the vision and the mission of the president of this government is taking us. People needs to stay focused. Don't allow these few ambitious naysayers. Don't be, I would say, duped by them. Do not fall for this trap here because you're going to remain poor, whether psychologically, whether don't. This is Guyana's chance. This is Guyana's opportunity. Go with the flow. Not 100% with, but I'm telling you, better days are ahead. The other thing I want to point out, my friend, I just don't want to take up much of your time, but I have to applaud our president with that master stroke of the United Nations. This guy is like, out of carrying up onto the international stage, making such a big statement in this world, putting Guyana on the map, putting us on showcase. For him to be at the JFK terminal at that TWA hotel last night, man, was a brilliant moment to see the colors of Guyana flag splattered against the John F. Kennedy International Airport. It was a sight, my brother. Guyanese who are not proud of this, you're pinch yourself and see if you're still alive. But with that said, my friend, I want to thank you so much for for the struggle and carrying on the cause and try to educate our people so that they can come to their senses. And not everything is going to be 100%, but with time, Norway took 45 to 70 years to get where they are. We're only 4 years into this, my friend. So have patience, my people. There is a lot of wealth coming out of that ground. It's not going to come out at one time, but let's go with the flow. Thank you, my friend, and have a wonderful evening.
And caller, thanks for calling and thank you very much for your input. Very wise and words of wisdom. Thank you very much. You know, I'm satisfied. Thanks again. Yes, that was a caller who was very passionate. Says he used to be an educator himself. And when he looked at the level of vulgarity, he's appalled by the action of who are supposed to be our teachers in the street. You know, and just like I said earlier, that it should be criminal to have them in the streets. In certain countries, they get them locked up already. There's no place for them other than behind bars. You know? And you know, he's right when he talk about the president just now and how much and how far we have come onto the international stage. And that is the problem with the APNU, you know. They recognize that the president would have built an international alliance with big countries of this world. And a lot of these countries are looking to him for leadership. It's no denying. I can't make these things up. Just go on Google and see how this president would have placed himself on the international stage. And how he's been praised over and over and over by his international colleagues. You make him joke, a little Koulibaly from Guyana with all of this stats. Wow. Trust me, it feels very, very, very good. Very good. But we get in there. Well, as I was saying just now, that they're setting up Suchan, man. I want to see the girl. I want to see her face. You know, I ain't see, normally doggy just put a face on the show. I ain't see her face. Like they're hiding her face like she's a juvenile. Where you're making them bold claim and statement and looking for tarnish people character. Put your face out there. Let people see who talking. You know, don't hide your face. I want is who have to shake up in US. If it's Rickford Bork, if it's who, and they gotta try with somebody somehow. And they gotta hold on somebody. We gonna bring them down one by one in a sex scandal. I heard it, you know. I heard it before. I heard it in a PNC circle. I heard it. That we will bring them down one by one in a sex scandal. I was going to the barber right through by Celebrity Avenue. But I take a shortcut through, you know, after Eureka Lab, they get a little crack there where them boys just sell the little sneakers and things and so. And they get Osana. Osana, they're right there. By the river corner there is next to the PNC office where Osana does sell a little provision, a little rotten fish. Wherever he get for sell, he does sell something. He get a little, somebody bring two maca, some kind of wild pig, some a curry or a iguana, something people just bring for sale. And he just sell these things out there. So there's just set up PNC boys park on them by sit down out there drinking. Make it. So every time I pass me and them just get a little rapport and thing and so. Bye. You see, when was the Nigel Dharamlal saga? And I passing through there. Watch a Canny Blair there. We gonna get you next, boy. We're done with you. Eh? All of you like little girl and this. We gonna bring all you down one by one in a scandal. You know, I hear it. And when I heard it, I thought about the seriousness of what was said, right? In a joke. You understand? I thought about the seriousness that was said in a joke. And I said to myself, you have got to be careful. Got to. Because anytime they come around you with that kind of foolishness there, the time and the money to prove your innocence, it could be a heavy, heavy price. So you gotta be real careful and skeptical. You can't slip up because they're gunning for you, because they don't say, we shall bring them down in scandals, sex scandals. So I call in on all my colleagues, all them PPP boys out there, I'll be careful because they're setting the trap. And that is all they know. Wickedness in your limit, you know. I want you to know that very well, that wickedness don't have limit. If you watch it how they deal with each other, Risedale Ford coming up against Norton, he and Manny Paul and them, if you listen to how they deal with he, setting up, getting the I think was the general secretary or somebody from Met State, no, so the treasurer, falsified. The poor little boy didn't even know what for say because he trapped between rock and a hard place, something happened so by. And there is it. But I call in on all my colleagues, whether you are at the lower level or the highest level, they set in the trap and we cannot allow them to make the trap fly. Never. The trap must never fly. If they can come with allegations, such as what they're doing with Suchan, but them allegations mustn't be able to hold water. You must be able to prove what you're crying. And let me tell you something. If it is my belief, if anything like that really happened with Suchan, the girl would have left and go looking for, she would have started screaming out from in the office. She would have started screaming from in the office. Or she would have tell you here what happened. A guy in a quick and come back and she would have go back, set up your phone, do a little recording story, and you would have get it. But I don't believe it. I don't believe it. It's another wild attempt to tarnish somebody's character. Wild attempt. And that's what the PNC they're good for. PNC good for that kind of thing. But like I said, it might be more than the PNC boys. They might be the broadcasters. Other people might be involved. My brothers and sisters, you have an opportunity for one more call, 679-7846. Give me a call here tonight, Valentine's night on Calling Wednesdays on Point Blank. Look, you see this thing? This is how I is dressed. This is how I is dressed normally, with a white t-shirt on the inside. And well, look how it's fitting with Valentine's tonight. I didn't even realize. All the ticker tape running across Valentine by. Valentine come and reach my system, you know, because this is how it is. So the 14th of February come and reach my system. I ain't reach it. This is hot. Drinking a lot of water. I ain't even had an opportunity to go to the messages. Let me see what the message is saying. What? Team comments. PPP forever. Tonight. PNC is good for lies and scandal, corruption, thief, totishness and skullduggery. Happy Valentine's to everyone. Let me take this opportunity to say to the teachers that are still in the classroom who refuse to strike, that I just want to take this opportunity to applaud you and thank you very much for your compassion for our nation's children. And I ask you to continue to do the work and do the good work, and you will be rewarded. You will for exhibiting care, compassion, and patience. Your reward is sure. But for those vagabonds in the streets, in the likes of, even want to call the name no more, and I even want to call the name. I say to you, good riddance. So thank you very much again for being here tonight on this Calling Wednesday. To the contributors, I would like to say a special thank you. I really enjoyed your interaction. So as we prepare to go, again, let me just say as customary that our country is too rich to have poor people, and we have an abundance of resources that can take care of every single one of us time and time over. Not the greatest of our resources, our newly found wealth oil. I guess if it was handled better by the David Granger administration when they signed that contract for 2% royalty and a signing bonus of 18 million US dollars. I am saying that if the David Granger administration had dealt with the contract of oil better, we in Guyana would have never been having this type of discussion today. It is they're the ones who would have put us in this situation and bind us in a contract for 50 years, where we will only see 2% of what is rightfully ours. Can you imagine? You have a coconut tree at the back of your yard, and a man comes in to pick the coconuts because you can't climb the tree. He comes and pick the coconut, and he pick 100 coconut. He pick up 98 and leave with it and left 2 for you. And he do you that for 50 years. For 50 years! Can you imagine the level of, oh my gosh. Again, I would like to say thank you very much for being here. It was a pleasure. I'll be here again on Sunday nights, God willing. Until then, stay safe. Peace out. And God bless you all.